We're joined now by Olebogeng Mphahlele, who's an equities dealer at FNB Wealth and Investments. Very good evening. Welcome to the Power Business.
Good evening, and good evening to the Power Business listeners, and thanks for having me this evening.
Thanks, Olebogeng. Let's look at the Rand and the JSE firming from yesterday's wobbles, and a lot of that having to do with the US inflation numbers that were reported for June today.
Yes, absolutely. We saw the JSE open up on a positive footing, and those positive momentum was continued throughout the trading session, with the all-share index ending 0.23% higher, the top 40 up 0.9% higher. So we saw those positive moves with the likes of Niselow closing 2.29% higher and Process 2% higher, and we know they have quite a weighting on the local board, so that also boosted the local markets. And as you touched on, the US numbers, CPI numbers, have come out this afternoon. We've seen a stronger dollar on the back of that, impacting obviously our Rand negatively. So we've seen it come down a bit from last week's gains as well.
Right. Let's look at the US inflation numbers, because the entire business media is just a wall of US tariffs, and the June inflation print coming in at 2.7%, slightly affected by tariffs, but not too much yet.
Yes, it was expected that the CPI numbers are going to come a bit higher, but especially pricing in these tariffs that keep rolling in, as well as the 1st of August tariff announcements being a big expectation. So not so much settling the market, but it was a big surprise, and it also has impacted the US markets on a positive note. So it was a huge surprise, therefore the dollar strengthening on the back of that.
Let's then look at oil. How is Brent crude oil trading?
So Brent crude has come down a bit from last week. We see oil prices stabilizing after late Monday, as Trump announced the 50-day deadline for Russia to end the Ukraine war and avoid sanctions, easing immediate supply concerns. And also oil climbed at the end of last week on speculation that the U.S. president was set to impose steep tariffs on Russia as well, having expressed frustration with Russian President Putin due to lack of progress in ending the Ukraine war. But however, his milder stance has eased fears of an immediate supply crunch, resulting in the selling which started late Monday, which was yesterday. So oil prices climbed they had climbed even after the OPEC announced a significant production increase. So it seems like these factors are offsetting each other.
And the gold price, still a choppy day for the gold price today.
It is indeed a choppy day for the gold price. We saw that yesterday as well, because in the dollar strengthening and also earnings releases kicking off on the global front as well, the major banks releasing earnings. Gold prices we saw rose over concern of Trump's trade tariffs. It kept haven demand at play, but while mixed economic data from China also added to this trend. So concerns lingered, as well as over increasing geopolitical tensions between, as I mentioned, with oil, Russia, and Ukraine. But the resilience in the dollar kept gold at bay as well.
You touched on briefly the mixed data coming out of China, with their economic growth figures being announced today. How did that look?
So having a look at China's economic data, let me see. So I haven't really, seen
Okay,
China.
we can go on to company news then and look at China a little bit later. If we look
Yeah.
at the company news, Nvidia announcing that they are expecting to be able to resume sales to China, and that of course is very positive for the world's largest company by market cap now, $4 trillion. It's an immense amount. No one can even visualize that.
Yes, correct. We know the AI market is just a booming one as well. So the H2O chip is NVIDIA's most powerful AI processor that can legally be sold to China under current U.S. export controls. So this is designed for inference tasks, meaning it runs existing AI models rather than training new ones. So in April 2025, the Trump administration imposed restrictions of these chip sales, citing national security concerns, but the ban was short-lived after NVIDIA CEO met with President Trump at a high-profile dinner, and the administration paused the ban. So NVIDIA has since received assurance that licenses will be granted to resume sales. So we're seeing that positive outlook for NVIDIA.
Right. And that would be very good news for the company. Let's go locally now to company news with ratings agency GCR, which is a subsidiary of Moody's, upgrading the outlook for Lewis Group, the furniture group, to positive. And that's despite a very tough consumer environment.
Correct. So satisfactory paying of customers reached a record high of 83.5%, while non-performing accounts dropped to 4.1%. Lewis Group has received a vote of confidence from the global credit ratings, which affirmed the retailer's national long and short-term insurer ratings to A positive and A1 respectively, while raising the outlook from stable to positive. So the improved outlook reflects the group's robust earnings growth, driven by a resilient credit-based business model, increased market share in the lower income segments, and a strong liquidity position despite ongoing macroeconomic data pressures. So the group's total revenue, which includes merchandise and other revenue, increased by 13.5% to 9.3 billion, supported by a rise in merchandise sales to 5.1 billion. So it's said to change the outlook in Lewis, which reflects the group's resilient business model, which has facilitated strong credit-based sales growth.
Yeah, it's very interesting to see that the positive sentiment around Lewis Group, despite people being under significant strain, so people still spending on furniture there. And then let's go to South Africa's largest money manager, 91. Their assets under management rose, including the Sanlam investments in the UK that they recently purchased.
So 91 has reported a significant rise in asset under management for the first quarter of fiscal 2026, reaching £139.7 billion. Previous, which we saw in March, which they released $130.8 billion. And the key drivers was the Sanlam UK deal. So this was a major contributor that added 1.9 billion. And the transfer of assets from Sanlam investment in UK, part of a broader strategic partnership between 91 and Sanlam. And the firm also benefited from a strong client inflows and solid investment performances across its active strategies. And its asset under management rose 8.6% year on year and on a quarter-to-quarter basis, 6.8%, which is reflecting its resilience among global market volatility as well.
Some very strong numbers there from 91. Thank you, Olebogeng Mphahlele, who's an equities dealer at FNB Wealth and Investments.